Hello students, let's work this problem out together. A door is 2.5 yards from top to bottom. How tall is the door in inches? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles on the grid below. Be sure to use the correct place value. So in the anchor chart below, you can see that we have 1 yard equals 3 feet and 1 foot equals 12 inches. So we do not go directly from yards to inches, but we can go from yards to feet, and then we can go from feet to inches, which is what we want. So let's start with our first set of equivalent measures. So we're going to use 1 yard equals 3 feet. So I'll start with yard and feet. And I'm going to be using my anchor chart over here. So my yards is going to be in yellow, and my feet I'm going to color code in green. And so in that anchor chart, it tells me that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. But I don't have 1 yard, I have 2.5 yards. And so I'll put that on the top for yards. And that means I'm looking for the number of feet. Okay, so let's look at that one more time with our colors. 1 yard over here from the anchor chart, and 2.5 yards from our story. And feet, 3 feet, because 1 yard was equal to 3 feet on our anchor chart. So we're trying to find out how many feet there would be in 2.5 yards. So now we're going to do our cross products. We're going to do 3 times 2.5 is equivalent to 1F. So 3 times 2.5 is equivalent to 1F. So since we want F, 1F is the same thing as F, but if we want to note what we're doing, we are dividing by 1, which is our coefficient, okay, so that we can get F. Okay, so let's work that out. So we have 2.5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15, carry 1. 3 times 2 is 6, and 1 more is 7. Don't forget to count. We have 1 number behind the decimal. So in my answer, I need to make sure I have 1 number behind the decimal. Okay, and so now I know that there are 7.5 feet, but they want our answer to be given in inches. So the door is 7.5 feet from bottom to top, but now we're going to change that to inches. So now that I have feet, I'm going to use the next equivalent measure, which is in my anchor chart, that says 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So let's write that down. I have feet and inches now. Okay, so on the anchor chart, it gives me the measurement, 1 foot, or the ratio. 1 foot is 12 inches, so let's write that down. 1 foot is 12 inches. And then we look in our story problem. We had 2.5 yards, but we don't want yards. We don't have yards in this proportion. In this ratios, we are using the feet and inches. So where do you think we can get our feet from? Because we know that our answer needs to be in inches. So what we are looking for is the inches. That is what the question is asking us for. So somewhere we should get feet. Where do we have the feet? It's not in the story problem. Very good. We already converted the yards that they give us into the story problem into feet. So the feet is right here, 7.5. Excellent work. So we're going to put that here. 7.5 feet is what we have. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use cross products. So 7.5 times 12 is equivalent to 1 times x. So 12 times 7.5 should equal x. Because if I have 1x, it means the same thing as x, or it would mean I would divide by 1, but dividing by 1 is not going to change my product. So now I need to multiply 7.5 times 12, or 12 times 7.5, whichever way you want to set it up. So I'm going to work it over here in this space. So 2 times 5 is 10, carry 1. 5 times 1 is 5, and 1 is 6. 2 times 7 is 14, carry 1. 7 times 1 is 7, and 1 more is 8. So it looks like my total is going to be 0. 6 plus 4 is 10, carry 1, and 9. We have one number behind the decimal. Only one of the factors has a decimal place. So one number goes behind the decimal. So we're going to move that decimal one space this way. So it's going to be right there. So x equals 90.0. So to record our answer into the grid, make sure we're doing the correct place value. 90.0, there is 9 tenths and 0 units, but they both need to be placed in front of the decimal. We make sure that we put the 90. Now the 0 behind the decimal is insignificant, so you can decide to put it or not. It won't change the value of the number, but the 90 in front of the decimal must both be put, and then we would bubble in nice and neatly, and we are done. So 2.5 yards is equivalent to 90 inches.